All right, we're going to do section 6.3, factoring trinomials, trial and error. And I don't like the title of this section. I obviously did not create this homework sets, or any of them actually, but I don't do trial and error. There is a method to the madness. And the last section, I told you to look at Diamath. It was an app, and I hope you did, and I hope you've been practicing. Section 6.2, we were factoring trinomials of the form ax squared plus bx plus c. And in section 6.2, our a was 1. Now we're not going to have that luxury. So there's another method that I'm going to show you. It's going to build on what we did last time. All right, question 1. Assume a, b, and c represent positive integers. So we have a, b, and c. We've got x squared plus bx plus c. When factoring a polynomial of that form, pick an appropriate combination of signs. So we did last time, if a was 1, we did this little diamond, the little x, factors of c that added up to give us b, right? And we saw that if c was positive, then the signs that were here and here had to be the same. And if b was positive, then both of these numbers here had to be positive. So that's what it's wanting. Oh, wait a minute. When factoring in the form, pick the appropriate combination of signs. Let's see. Yep, that's all it wants. It just wants positive, positive. So the answer would be here. Okay, let's go look at number 2. Again, a, b, and c are positive, but this time we want the product to be negative. It's a negative c. Again, we're just going to assume a is 1. Okay, and down here we had a positive number b. If we multiply both of the numbers and we get a negative, so that means one of them has to be positive and one has to be negative, right? And then the positive is going to be the bigger number because when we add them together, b has to be positive. All right, so I would get a positive and then a negative. So that would be my answer choice. Do we get to start doing these? Yes. All right. Now, it says to use the trial and error method. I don't like that. I'm going to show you that there is indeed a method to do these. So here we go. In section 6.2, our a, the number in front of the x squared was 1. It's no longer 1. So the number that's going to go up top is going to be a times c. So what is 12 times negative 5? We get negative 60. That's the number that goes up top. Down below, we still have negative 17. Okay, we want to go find factors of 60. Now, what we just did on questions 1 and 2, this is a negative. One of our factors is going to be negative. The other is going to be positive. Okay, factors of 60. 1 and 60, 2 and 30, 3 and 20, 4 and 15, 5 and 12, 6 and 10, and that's it. Okay, do you see any that would give you, if you subtracted them, would give you negative 17? If I did positive 3 plus negative 20, so positive 3 plus negative 20 would give me negative 17. All right, here's the new step. I'm going to rewrite my trinomial, but instead of writing negative 17a, I'm going to use these numbers. So here we go. I'm going to rewrite it as 12a squared minus 20a plus 3a minus 5. All right, instead of writing negative 17a, I did negative 20a plus 3a. Now I'm going to factor by grouping. If I group these first two terms together, What's my GCF? I see that I can pull out a 4 and an A. If I pull out a 4A, I would be left with 3A minus 5. Now, can I pull anything out of these second two terms, or these last two terms, I should say? And the answer is no, it's just a 1. So if I pull out a GCF of 1, I'm left with 3A minus 5. Do you see that you have two terms now? This one plus this one. What's in common with both of them? I see a 3A minus 5 from both of them. I'm going to pull it out there and here. And what remains is 4A plus 1. There's my answer. That trinomial factors to 3A minus 5 times 4A plus 1. We're going to do it again, number 4. I need to go do my x. I need to do 2 times negative 10, which is negative 20. Let me get rid of those circles. 2 times negative 10 is negative 20. And the number in front of the middle term is a 1. I see that it's a negative number up at top. So one of them has to be negative. The other one needs to be positive. Okay, for 20, 1 and 20, 2 and 10, 4 and 5. That's it. Okay, one of them's got to be positive, one's got to be negative, and they have to add up to give me 1. So if I do negative 4 plus 5, I get 1. So negative 4 plus 5. Now I need to rewrite my trinomial. I'm going to do 2w squared. Instead of saying plus w, I'm going to say minus 4w plus 5w. I'm going to use those two here. And then I also have minus 10. Now group. I'm going to group the first two terms and the last two terms. What can I pull out of these first two terms? I can pull out a 2w. I would be left with a w minus 2. I want to do a little mental check. 2w times w is 2w squared. 2w minus times negative 2 is minus 4w. So I did that correctly. Plus, what comes out of 5w minus 10? I can pull out a 5. When I pull out a 5, I'm left with w minus 2. Yay! I see in each term, this term and this term, I see a w minus 2. When I pull that out, what I'm left looking at is 2w plus 5. So even though the title of this section was trial and error, there is no trial and error. You're still going to go do your diamond, but this time instead of just putting in that number, you've got to multiply the A and the C to go up to the top. All right, number 5. This is not written in the right form. I'm going to get my squared term first. I'm going to write that as 17q squared minus 6q minus 3. So if I do my x, the number that goes up top is going to be 17 times negative 3. So the number up top is negative 51. The number on the bottom is negative 6. Okay, factors of 51. Oh boy. I see that it's negative 51, so one of them is going to be negative, the other one's going to be positive. Okay, 1 and 51, 1 and 51 2 won't go in there. Is 51 divisible by 3? 3 and 17. Is it divisible by 4? Nope. Not divisible by 5 or 6. How about by 7? Nope. Won't be divisible by 8. How about by 9? Nope. 11 won't. 12 won't. How about 13? Nope. That's it. Okay. You can't factor that. You can't get any of the factors to add up to -6. So I'm going to write prime. All right, number 6. I need to write it in standard form. 2b squared minus 13b plus 15. My x, the number that goes up top, is 2 times 15, which is 30. And the number that goes down on the bottom is -13. Okay, this number is positive, so they both have to be the same signs. This number is negative, so they both need to be negative. Factors of 30, 1 and 30, 2 and 15, 3 and 10, 5 and 6. Do you see any numbers that would add up to give you -13? If I did -3 plus -10, I would get -13. So my numbers are -3, -10. I'm going to rewrite my trinomial, 2b squared. Instead of writing -13b, I'm going to write -3b minus 10b. And then I still have plus 15. Okay, grouping. Group the first 2, group the last 2. I'm going to factor out a b, and I'm left with 2b minus 3. Then I'm going to pull out a -5. Now this is important. I'm going to pull out a -5. I would be left with 2b minus 3. Now look, -5 times -3 gives me positive 15. I did that because I need to see the same common binomial, 2b minus 3, in both places. I'm going to pull out the 2b minus 3. That's gone, and that's gone. And I'm left with the factor b minus 5. Number 7. I notice that all 3 of those numbers are divisible by 5. So I'm going to pull out the GCF of 5. If I pull out a 5, what's left? Let's see. 5 times u squared. 45 divided by 5 is 9, so minus 9u. 70 divided by 5 is 14, so I get plus 14. All right, now I need to go factor the orange trinomial. 1 times 14 is 14. Then I'm going to put -9 down below. Okay, I need a same signs, but they're both negative. Okay, factors of 14, 1 and 14, 2 and 7. If I do -2 plus -7, I get -9. So there's the numbers that go there, -2, -7. Don't forget you have your 5. Now, because A was 1, you don't have to go do factor by grouping. You can just write it as u minus 2 times u minus 7. If you don't believe me, we could go do u squared minus 2u minus 7u plus 14. Factor out a u. factor out a -7, and you would have u minus 2 times u minus 7. So we got the same thing. But we don't have to factor by grouping as long as your coefficient in front of your squared term right here is a 1. Number 8. It tells you to be sure to factor out the GCF first. I see that they're all even numbers, so I know a 2 will come out. And I see t to the 8th, t to the 7th, t to the 6th, so a t to the 6th will come out. Okay, what trinomial is left? 2 goes into 30, 15. If I pull out a t to the 6th, I'm left with t squared. 2 goes into 22, 11 times. T to the 6th pulled out, so I'm left with a t. 2 goes into 4 2 times, and I'm pulling that t to the 6th out. So there's my trinomial that remains. I'm going to go do my x. 15 times 2 is 30. And then I want 11 down on the bottom. Notice this time that our leading coefficient is not a 1. We're going to have to go do factor by grouping. Factors of 30. 1 and 30. 2 and 15. 3 and 10. 5 and 6. Okay, both the top number 30 is positive, so the signs are the same. 11's positive, so they both need to be positive signs. 5 plus 6 gives me 11. So those are my numbers there. I'm going to rewrite 15t squared plus 5t plus 6t plus 2. Grouping the first two and the last two terms, I can pull out a 5t. I'm left with 3t plus 1. The last two terms, I can pull out a 2. I'm left with 3t plus 1. So I get 3t plus 1 times 5t plus 2. Now, what else do I need to remember? What about that GCF that was out there, that 2t to the 6th? So I need to do 2t to the 6th times 3t plus 1 times 5t plus 2. That is my answer. All right, number 9, it's written in standard form. There's nothing I can pull out, so I need to just go do my x. 15 times -5 is -75. That's up top. 22 is down below. Factors of 75. 1 and 75. Will 3 go into there? Yep, 3 and 25. Ooh, nope, can't stop yet. How about 4? 75 divided by 4? Nope. 75 divided by 5? Yep, 5 and 15. How about 6? 6 won't. 7 won't. 8 won't. 9? No. 11? No. 12? No. Let's see. How about 13? No. That's it. Those are the only factors. Okay. It's -75. So they both have to be negative. Oh, sorry. One's negative, one's positive. Let's see here. I want 22. How about -3 plus 25? That would give me 22, right? Yes. -3, positive 25. Okay, let's go rewrite. 15y squared. Now, instead of writing 22y, I'm going to write -3y plus 25y. And then -5. Okay, now let's group. First two, last two. I can pull out a 3y, and I have 5y minus 1. I can pull out a 5, and I have 5y minus 1. So my factors are 5y minus 1 times 3y plus 5. All right, number 10. I don't see a GCF there. It is written in standard form, and I am so dreading those big numbers. Here we go. 15 times negative 12 is negative 180. And then down below is 8. All right, the top one is negative, so they're going to be different signs down here. One's going to be positive, one's going to be negative. Factors of 180. 1 and 180, 2 and 90, 3 and 60, 4 and 45, 5 and 36. Is that right? Yep. About 6 and 30. 7, no, 8. Nope. 9 and 20. 10 and 18. Ooh, that looks promising. I want a positive 8, so the big one has to be positive, the little one has to be negative. That's it. Negative 10 plus 18. Okay, here we go. 15n squared minus 10n plus 18n minus 12. Factor the first two, factor the last two. I can pull out a 5n. I'm left with 3n minus 2. I can pull out a 6, and I'm left with 3n minus 2. So I can pull out a 3n minus 2, and I'm left with 5n plus 6. Number 12, factor completely. Okay, first off, I see that all of them have a y to the 6th, so I'm going to pull that out. If I pull a y to the 6th out, I'm left with x squared minus 9x plus 8. Oh, this is going to be an easy one because the number in front of the x squared is 1. So I need to put an 8 up top and a negative 9 down below. The signs are the same. They're both negative. Factors of 8, 1 and 8, 2 and 4. If they're both negative, what's negative 1 minus 8? Negative 9. So I get the factors y minus 1 and y minus 8. Last question, number 12. A baseball is thrown straight downward from the top of a 168-foot building. Its height in feet after t seconds is given by, okay, that should say h equals negative 16t squared plus 8t plus 168. Part A says to calculate the height of the ball after 2 seconds. So everywhere we see a t, we're going to plug in a 2. So we're going to have that. So let's go do it. What is the height going to be? Negative 16 times 2 squared plus 8 times 2 plus 168. Is that right? Yes. I get 120. So the height of the ball after 2 seconds is 120 feet. Now it says to write that in factored form, then evaluate the factored form of the polynomial for t equal 2. All right, factored form. We want to go factor negative 16t squared plus 8t plus 168. Can we pull out a 16? No. Can we pull out an 8? Yes. If I pull out a negative 8, I'll be left with 2t squared plus t plus, nope, minus 168 divided by 8 was 21. Is that right? Negative 16t squared. Ooh, that should have been a minus as well. Okay, negative 16t squared plus 8t plus 168. Okay, good. Sorry about that. Now we need to go factor 2t squared minus t minus 21. The numbers for my x. 2 times negative 21 is negative 42. And the number on the bottom is going to be negative 1. This is negative, so one of them is going to be negative, the other is going to be positive. Factors of 42, 1 and 42, 2 and 21, 3 and, I don't like that, I can't see them. 1 and 42, 2 and 21, 3 and 14, 5 won't, 6 and 7, and that'll do it. Okay, if I do positive 6 plus negative 7, I'll get negative 1. Positive 6, negative 7. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite it as 2t squared minus 7t plus 6t minus 21. I'm not going to forget about that negative 8 that's out front, though. Okay, what's on the inside? What can I factor out of each grouping? Factor out a t, and I'm left with 2t minus 7. If I factor out a 6, no. If I factor out a 3, I'm left with 2t minus 7. So that orange factors to 2t minus 7 times t plus 3. And don't forget the negative 8 out front. So this is the polynomial in factored form. Now I'm supposed to plug in t equals negative 2. No, sorry, t equals 2. If I plug t equal 2 in, I get negative 8. 2 times 2 minus 7, 2 plus 3. Negative 8, 4 minus 7 is negative 3. 2 plus 3 is 5. Negative 8 times negative 3 times 5 is 120. Was that the same thing we got in part 1? Yes. So the answer, evaluating the factored form of the polynomial gives the result of 120 feet. This is the same as part A.